Okay, welcome to Dialing Up Star Trek with Dave. I am Dave in my car, talking about Dialing Up Star Trek with Dave. It's really a hobby of mine that I've been trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, and I've been bouncing back and forth between different ideas. I did a few episodes where I was rewriting episodes of Star Trek, and I did enjoy that. I've talked about the Pensky files on, I think, probably every one of my episodes that I've made. I've referenced them without just... I haven't taken like their ideas of how they would change the show, but I've referenced them. But I believe I have found my true passion, and it's from listening to the Pensky files. And that is, I find myself listening to it too often, just about every episode, and just thinking, what are you talking about? And I think the problem is that I enjoy it immensely. I've written in comments sections on some of their episodes that they have made me enjoy Star Trek again, made me revisit it and realize how much I did enjoy it, maybe is a better way of putting it. Sometimes I question if they actually like Star Trek. So I guess Dialing Up with Star Trek makes sense, because I really, really enjoy these new series, and they don't seem to enjoy them that much, except for Lower Decks, and even there, they don't seem to enjoy it that much. So maybe it's more of a defensive Star Trek too. That could be part of it. But I think one of the big problems with the Pensky files that I find is if you don't have the facts, if you're not correct with the facts with what's going on, you can't actually make a good analysis and a good review of something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big sports fan too. So if I did a sports analysis of how, the Dallas Cowboys did against the New England Patriots, because I think they either played or they are playing soon. And I was doing an analysis of the game, and I said I couldn't believe when the Patriots called a timeout before halftime, 10 seconds before halftime, and I was really surprised that the Cowboys went for it on fourth down at the end of the third quarter, and somebody were listening to it, and they were like, "What are you talking about? That didn't happen. They didn't go for it. They punted it. I don't know what you're talking about." Like, if they were listening, that's what they were thinking. And then if they were like, "No, they didn't call a timeout before halftime," like, my analysis of the game wouldn't be correct, because I don't have the correct information. And it happens every single episode of listening to them that I'm like, that's not what happened at all. I wrote in a comment, because I'm behind, but I'm listening to their Star Trek Picard reviews, and I don't remember the title now. I haven't finished watching the series myself, but I am caught up to the episode that I'm watching, that I've listened, that corresponds with the episode that they have made. But I'm behind, because I know they already finished season 1. So that's me. I'm always watching shows after they've already finished. But I'm on the episode of season 1 of Star Trek Picard where 7 of 9 is on the show now. And Clay and Wes say this, essentially. They say, yeah, there's a scene where 7 of 9, because Picard has on this ship now. Picard was staying on a chateau in France for, I think, 10 or 15 years, somewhere around there. And now he's on a ship in this adventure. And he has in the holodeck, he has the office of his chateau. So Wes and Clay say, yeah, there's a scene where 7 of 9 says, you know, you were running away from this. Why did you replicate this on the ship? And he says, I didn't do it, so I don't know. That's not even close. That is absolutely almost completely wrong for what actually happened. So then their analysis of that scene, of that fake scene, because they have it dead to right wrong, their analysis is also wrong, because then they're laughing and they're saying, see, it doesn't make sense that he would have the chateau, and the show doesn't even know why he has it, and Picard doesn't even know, but this absolutely false. What happens on the show actually is that 7 of 9 comes into his office on the ship in the holosuite and says, this place is something, and then he says, not my idea, and then she says, yeah, but you liked it enough that you kept it, that you didn't change it. And then he doesn't say anything because that's true. So that's actually what happened, guys. That is the actual scene. And so now, what would your analysis be of that scene when you have it correct? Sometimes I'm like, are these guys paying attention? And honestly, there have been times where I've heard on podcasts, because I've been listening to their TNG and their TOS and stuff like that, where both of them, or especially Wes, is admitting that, like, he wasn't really paying attention. How are you going to do an analysis of a show if you weren't even paying attention? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, come on. Like, I love the show, but guys, you got to pay attention more. Because then if you get that scene correct, then you can do a correct analysis, and you can say, okay, we know from previous episodes he said he tried, but he didn't feel at home at the chateau, so he feels more at home in the stars. But also at the same time, he said even before when he left there that he would miss it, and he would miss those people, and he would miss his dog and stuff. So he's obviously torn. It's obviously layers. Characters are allowed to have layers. He likes being in the stars, but he still has fond memories. Like, you're allowed to like a place better, but still kind of miss to some degree where you came from. That's like when you move out of your home. You don't want to go back to your home and move back in with your parents. You want your own life, your own place, and what have not. But it's not like you're like, I don't want to have any memories of my old home. Like, come on. So you can see where my passion is. So from now on, dialing up Star Trek with Dave is going to be a rebuttal to the Pensky Files. I'm going to do it once a week. I'm going to start with Star Trek Enterprise. They're into season 4, which is a great season, so I'm excited. And then I'm just going to basically correct them where they're wrong to help them with their analysis and so forth. And you know what? Maybe once they see it and they go, oh, that's what really happened, maybe they'll go, okay, it makes sense. Or maybe they'll just tweak their analysis a little bit, but at least they'll know that's what actually happened on the episode. Because they get it wrong, like, all the time, and then it compounds. So, like, I guarantee you, I haven't finished listening to the Picard series that they did, but I guarantee you, like, 3 episodes later from this one that I just watched, they're going to reference Picard at his chateau in his office on the ship again and continue to have it wrong. Like, you know, I wrote in a message on one of their things that I think they would greatly benefit from having, like, a fact checker on the show, that when they said this stuff, somebody could go, hold on, I hate to interrupt you guys, but you have it wrong. Here's what actually happened. Now you can get your analysis correct. So it's going to be my Dialing Up Star Trek with Dave from now on is going to be a rebuttal to the Pensky File episode that I watched that week. What facts they got wrong, and where I agree with them in their analysis and where I disagree with them in their analysis. And we're going to have some fun with it. I'm not completely just trying to trash them. Again, love the Pensky Files. They make me laugh, and they have some really good insights a lot of times, definitely. Every episode, I would say. But also, every episode, they get stuff wrong, and I disagree sometimes with their analysis, and so this is going to be my rebuttal. So I hope you guys enjoy. We'll love the comments. Would love to hear from you guys. Would love to hear from anybody. Pensky Files, keep it up, and just try to get your information a little bit better. And look forward to my next rebuttal. So thank you guys again for listening, and live long and prosper.